I am the Savvy Young Professional, and you are listening to the Savvy Young Professional podcast. Today, I do not have any guests on the show. It's a solo show, so it's just going to be me and you riding around in your car or on your jog or wherever you might be listening to this podcast. It's a brand new year, and I'm so excited. This is my first podcast of the new year. And I thought that we could talk about something that's pretty relevant this time of year, and that is your goals. I'm pretty sure by now many of you have already set your goals. And if you're the early bird type, you probably started setting your goals back in November or early December of 2014. And so this show today is not going to really be about you setting goals or how to set your goals because I'm pretty sure you are ahead of the curve on that one. It's almost 2 weeks into the new year, and I thought that I could give you some tips on how to make sure that by the end of 2015, as you look back at the year, you can honestly say that you achieved some of those goals on your list. So I guess you could kind of think of this as goals 2.0. So it's the next step in helping you to achieve some of the big things that you're trying to do this year. There's only really three things that I want you to keep in mind as you are out there knocking these goals off of your list, okay? Now, let's get into the first one really quick. And it's a pretty simple concept, but I think it's a lot of people forget about this part of the goal process. And that's knowing your why. Knowing why you're doing something is so important because as you start to really get into your groove after that new feeling has set, probably about the February March time frame, you're going to start to maybe get a little bit tired of routine, or maybe you're just going to need a change, or life happens, at this point you're in your groove. And so when you know why you're doing something, whatever that may be, whatever your goal is, it really helps you to keep things in perspective when things start to happen that are really not in your control. So I would give you maybe an example of maybe you want to get ahead in your career. Okay, and that's one of your big things. But if you don't know why you're doing that, then sometimes you might not make the best decisions when it's time, or maybe you won't realize opportunities that are in front of you. Knowing your why, the deep seated reason why you're doing what you're doing, why you want to achieve this goal, whatever it is important because it's going to help you to really keep motivated throughout the journey of setting goals. So, if you haven't already, take a look at all the things that you said you wanted to do this year and just attach a reason why to it. It will change your perspective on things like you won't even believe. I've decided that that was something that I was going to do this year. And as soon as I set a goal, I also thought about the reasons why I wanted to achieve that goal. And it's worked so far for me because it really allowed me to make decisions that maybe I wouldn't have thought of if I just said, well, I want to achieve this particular goal and that's it, and that's just the bottom line. So think about that, okay? The second thing that I would like for you to think about is the people around you, okay? Know your people. This is kind of where it gets tricky in when you're trying to achieve goals because everybody doesn't have the same goals as you, and also most people might not even be informed of what you're trying to do or the goals that you're trying to reach. So it's important that you know the people who are around you. Make sure that you keep people around you who are going to motivate you. And on top of that, once you identify those people who just seem to be your cheerleaders, make sure you tell them how much you appreciate them and keep them updated on your progress and what you are doing, because they're your cheerleaders. The more they know, the more they could cheer you on, root for you, and help you really get to that next level by motivating you. You also need to know who are some of those people who maybe don't understand your goals and they don't maybe even care. And you need to know that sometimes you might have to stay away from those people while you're trying to achieve those goals. Now, I'm not trying to say that you got to go down your list and cut people out of your life, but you need to be aware of who is in your circle. Who are you sharing your ideas and thoughts and frustrations with? Who are the people that are going to help motivate you and keep you in the direction that you're trying to go? And if you realize that there are people around you who maybe just don't get it, that's okay because everybody is not going to get it. Everybody's not going to understand that maybe you have a goal of saving, $100,000 this year, or maybe you have a goal of deciding that you want to start on a new career path, or maybe you want to travel more. Whatever it is your goal is, you have to be okay with everybody not completely understanding that. And what you should do is make sure that if there are people who it's just a battle to get them to understand or to get them, if you say, hey, I'm really trying to save money, I can't really go out, and they don't get that, and they're continuously inviting you to events that cause you to spend $100 every time you go out, then you have to monitor that. Don't spend your time trying to convince people about why and what you're doing. Okay, one time is enough, maybe two, and if after that they don't get it, that's totally fine. You just might have to steer clear from them for a while, or at least until you get to where you want to go. Understand that people are important, and when you are thinking about the goals that you set, make sure you try to expand your circle of influence. Make sure that, if you decided that you wanted to start running more this year, join a club of runners. Maybe you should, figure out people in your neighborhood who you see running in the morning and see if you can tag along with them. The people around you when you're trying to achieve a goal, if you're on a mission, are so important. So that's the second thing that I want you to keep in mind as you are going through 2015 and you are knocking these goals out the park. The last thing that I want to tell you is to celebrate the small wins, okay? I think a lot of the times when we are setting our goals, we go through and the only thing that really matters is the end, right? And that's okay. Yes, sometimes, yes, the only thing that really does matter is the end goal, but you also want to celebrate those things that are leading you up to that big finish. So, no matter how small it is, give yourself time to celebrate those small wins while you're on your way to that big win. It's going to keep you motivated, and you deserve it. Holding your breath to the very, very end sometimes can be exhausting, and you can really burn yourself out if you put that kind of pressure on yourself. So, celebrate those small wins and don't wait until the very, very end to try to celebrate, because they're learning lessons along the way when you have big things in store for yourself. When you have goals that are huge and that are bigger than you, there are going to be so many small wins along the way that you have to recognize. You have to be able to look at yourself and recognize the change that is happening as you're on your way to those big goals, okay? I am so excited about the new year. I am so excited about this podcast and the direction that it's going. I'm getting more and more feedback every day. Download numbers are going up. So if you listen to this show and you are already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. I ask that you share it with anybody who you think might need to listen or hear some of the things that we talk about on this show. Also, if you are not subscribed to this show, I would appreciate you subscribing so that you don't even have to go back and look for the show. It's going to automatically populate in whatever program that you use to subscribe to your podcast. So, iPhone listeners, you can find me on the iTunes podcast store. If you are an Android listener, download the Stitcher app, and this show is also in that as well. I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Let's do this. 2015 is the year of big goals. This is your year. Own it, and let's do this. You can find all the links and resources mentioned in this